Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Writes, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. As the title says, this is where I read a chapter and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And today we are doing chapter 40 of Shattered Salvation. Tristan came this way, Emerlin hissed. She wanted to roll her eyes, her temper getting frayed at each body they came across. And is that all your predictive senses can tell me? The bodies, whoops. Let's get that to the right place. The bodies he's been finding on their way here hadn't been as bad of a shape, in as bad shape. You know what? In as bad shape as they could be, considering Tristan had been the one to kill them. Their ripped throats and bashed in heads were the kind of things he went for. There had been a few footprints and blood here and there, but now that they'd reached the door to engineering, there were none. Rufield was looking through the door's lock panel. This hasn't been used. The locks on the locks from the other side. She looked around. Then where is he? Armlin glared at the door. In there. How did he get in? Walked through the door? He's in there. The Porphidian snarled. Wait, Porphidian? Porphyrian? Okay, anyway, I'll have to double check that. This feels like a typo. Kopernik, can you see inside? No, the woman looked around nervously. Damn it, focus, Kopernik. What's going on with you? What's going on with you and Friday? Nothing, boss, the man replied. But he was looking behind them, ready to fire at anyone who might show up, even if all that was there were dead bodies. Catherine tried to calm herself. Being this badly on edge was for rookies, not her. Kopernik, can you access the cameras inside the engineering? The woman calmed at Catherine's controlled tone. No, they've locked it tight with the system within the system. Why are you? Just like they did with the lock, Rufield said. I can get through it, but it will take me a bit. How about Alex? Is he here? Is he anywhere in there? He isn't inside the system. No one's entered it since he last left. There's another door on the opposite side. Maybe they went there, she offered. Not when the Carnage points to this door. Tristan is smart, but he's boxed in, running out of options. Speaking of options, Copperine glanced up at her datapad. Can I ask you something, boss? Is it relevant? I'm pretty sure it is. Catherine motioned for her to go on. If the people in there control the ship, why aren't they venting it? Engineering is sealed tighter than my mom's credit stick on the day after she gets paid. They could open the airlocks, keep us from taking refuge in the rooms. Even if I could keep the door closed, they'd also have control of the life support system. They wouldn't have to risk anything to kill us. Catherine looked behind Kopernik at their prisoner, who didn't look anywhere near as nervous as she thought she should. My guess is that this Baron needs her alive, or wants her to keep living like he would any ally of his, or someone holding valuable information, Kopernik said. She was tied up, well, taped up. She claims Alex did that, so it isn't doing much to defend her position. But we're going to find out the truth soon enough. Regardless, when the shooting starts, I want her as far from it as possible. If it comes down to it, she might be useful as a bargaining chip. Do you really think Tristan wants her? Catherine rolled her eyes. Hardly. Even she said Alex had to argue to keep her alive, but I don't think he did that because he likes her. They're both cold-blooded killers. She eyed the biochemist again. Now, my guess is that he wants to find out her part in this too. There would be a comma here. He tied her up so she couldn't go anywhere. Kaepernick checked something on the datapad before looking up. So are you going to use her against them? Catherine let out a bark of laughter. Tristan doesn't negotiate. He kills everything in his way and takes what he wants. If we put her between us and him, the only thing that will happen is her getting shut up. No, Baron's the one I'm interested in. I want to know why he wants Tristan. But we're attacking him. No, we're going after Tristan, who is in this room or will be shortly. Trust me, we will all be going after him when he shows up. Mine. Amerlin growled. These is mine. Yes, I know. Catherine was getting tired of this. She understood his pain more than anyone here, but there were limits. Carly, I need you to blow this door. Sorry, Ruffield, but I want the element of surprise. Our locksmith stood. Never complain when I don't. Never complain when you don't give me work. Have at it, Carly. The engineer kept wide of the Porphyrion, but Armelin didn't say anything about her doing what would have been Geron's job. She glared at the door as if she could will it to open. Catherine opened the closest door, a large janitor's closet, and pulled Kopernik in. You two are going to wait in here. If it looks like any of the fighting is going to spill out of engineering, close the door and lock it if you can. She motioned for Friday to bring the biochemist over. If the fighting moves away from this side, go in and find a terminal and get me control of this ship. Got that? Yes, boss. Her? Catherine sighed. Kopernik, if you want to make it as a merc, show initiative. You know why I want her alive, so use your best judgment on how to make that happen. All right? Yes, boss, she answered, chastised. Carly, set up and ready to go. All right, people. Goggles on, earplugs in. Don't come complaining to me if you don't, and this does more than blow the door. She put hers in. Armelin, if I have to get you, I'm locking you in a room and dealing with Tristan. If I have to get you. If I have to get you. If I have to rescue you, that's going to be better. If I have to rescue you, I'm locking you in a room and dealing with Tristan myself. Okay, I want to check something. You are Perfidian. Perfidian. Huh. Okay. Interesting. Why is this one Porfedian? Okay. Not sure why they're not showing up the same. The Porphyrion transferred his glare to her, and there was so much rage in it, she was surprised the door hadn't melted. When he joined her away from the door. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. Okay. Um, if I have to move you, I'm locking you. Okay. When he joined her away. When he joined her away from the door. Whoops. This is what happens when I don't pay attention. Oh, I see now. When he joined her away from the door, she lowered her voice. You need to get yourself under control. You're setting an example to the rookie as much as me. 4. It's a bad example for the rookies as much as me. Yeah, okay. Okay, I know. This is, yes. Uh, you're setting the example for the rookies as much as me and the others are. Basically, that's what I mean. Where she's pointing out that as the experienced merc, he is used as a template. This is me controlled, he replied through gritted teeth. She swallowed as she realized she believed him. She'd always worried about what would happen if Armelin died in a fight and his boyfriend lost control. Armelin had always been so laid back. She never even considered what would happen if Juran died. Granted, she never considered Juran could die. Frenian were as tough a species as it got. She had been concerned about the wrong person entirely. She motioned to Carly, and the door ceased to exist. Neither the flash nor the sound of the explosion registered, but she felt the blast shove her back. The hot debris hit her armor. Ermelin was gone before she could tell him to wait. Suppression fire came from inside the room, but the Porphyrian ignored it, dodging some and seemingly letting others hit him. He was suicidal, she realized. This wasn't about killing Tristan. This was about joining Juran. It was about joining Juran. And just as she feared, the rookies took that as the sign to start the attack. Brad and Camille didn't wait for a signal. They threw the flashbangs in ahead of the rookies, and that saved a few of them as they were protected from the light and sounds. By the screams inside the room, Baran Mans weren't. She and her more experienced people moved more carefully. You know what? More experienced moved carefully, using the distraction they caused to take down whoever hadn't been incapacitated. It turned out to be more of them than it turned out to be more there. It turned out to be there. There turned out to be more of them than she expected, as the still standing men she faced wore goggles of their own. Either they'd been planning on that same tactic or had been behind enough bodies to have the time to put them on. Unlike her still standing rookies, she hit what she aimed for. Those who survived this would learn that all running did was make it impossible to hit your target. It took a moment, among the confusion of the firefight, to realize there were none of the machines in the room she expected. There was no cover at all. She also realized there were a lot more people than she'd planned on. This wasn't the 24 men she'd expected, closer to 100, and they were focusing on her people. So Tristan wasn't here. Even with Amerlin dropping them almost as quickly as he touched them, this wasn't a battle she could win. She cursed. Unlike Amerlin, she wasn't looking to die. She had the rest of her people to think about. As she opened her mouth, something fell from the ceiling in the middle of the room. It had been human-shaped. Someone else dropped, black and muscular. Almost immediately, screams came from where they landed. She smiled. Finally, the star in this show had shown up. Not only that, but Baron's men would tenderize him for her. As the scream continued and intensified, the men firing in her direction began backing up to go defend their comrade. That worked in her favor too, but not all of them did, and she and her people had to stay low and move cautiously. The crowd between her and the other fight thinned as they changed position too. She chuckled. What did they think they could do? Get a better position? That was why she kept her team as small as she could, so they wouldn't get in their own way. She could make out Tristan and Alex moving apart, splitting that fight into two. Tristan was moving deeper away from her. She started figuring out how she could get to him when she noticed Alex was heading closer to her, and he was looking at her, firing at anyone getting close. Well, if he was so interested in dying, she could accommodate him, and she did owe him anyway. And this concludes chapter 40 of A Shattered Salvation. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to read the, if you want to know when the next chapter is going to be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read the book as well as the others in the series, they are available on all major e-retailer. If you want to support me in another way, that's my Patreon, where you can also get access to just about everything I've written. And if you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch. Links are in the notes, and with that, I shall wish you a good day.